Hey everyone, this is Ben Taylor. I run a YouTube channel called Pleasant Green, and I interact with scammers from all over the world. And I talk a little bit about that on the Scene World podcast, and I would love to have you come listen and be part of the conversation. So we will see you soon.
Welcome.
It's the Scene World podcast. I'm me, he's him, that's this, and so forth and so far. So far?
So far.
Wow. Yeah. In a minute, we'll be talking with Eleonora Sayaka of Sayaka's Digital Attic on YouTube.
Right.
Before we do that, though, I don't have any news, but he's got news. So let's go talk about them newses.
Yes. So first item would be the AnimeCon UK.
AnimeCon, you mean?
Yes, AnimeCon UK still got early bird ticket.
Oh.
Until the end of 29th of February. So if you want to be an early bird, get it now.
Very cool. So what is AnimeCon? What is that? What does that look like?
Well, it's normally about anime stuff, right? And cosplay. That's what I get it from. I mean, it's not one of those events I usually tend to. But it's Japanese, I would say.
Okay.
And it's actually.
Did it happen already?
No. It's happening between the 15th and 16th of June this year.
Okay, because I'm looking at AnimeCon London, and that was,
this is Birmingham.
3rd. Oh, Birmingham.
This
okay.
Birmingham.
Okay.
Birmingham. Yeah. Right.
Birmingham, 2024. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Birmingham Anime and Gaming Con. That is the 17th and 18th.
Exactly, of June. Yeah.
Yep. Very nice. Actually, good Lord, what has moved so fast? This one says 17th and 18th of August. Maybe there's another one. I'm seeing Birmingham Anime and Gaming Con at Edgbaston Stadium in August. Because how many anime cons are in the UK this year?
AnimeConUK.com.
Oh yeah, I entered that and I went to Birmingham Anime and Gaming Con. There's too many. Yeah. there's so many. There's so many in this Google search, and they're all happening within a month of each other. Wow. Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And there's a new one from Sonic coming out. Sonic versus Shadow Generations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
In autumn this year.
And is that PlayStation?
PlayStation. Well, I mean, Sega usually releases on all kinds of platforms.
Yeah, I'm seeing PlayStation, Microsoft Store, and Steam.
Exactly. So it's PC, obviously PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch, and also Epic Store. Whoever wants Epic Store. The only reason I have Epic Store is because I get free stuff from the Epic Store.
Yeah, I've got it too. I think there's one game that I played on that, and I don't play that anymore. I don't even know what game it is.
Yeah, I got free games from the Epic Store. That's why I got it.
Yeah. Well, that's a good reason.
Oh.
All right.
Like Chess Cat Rabbit. This old classic jump and run.
Okay. Don't know that one.
I might be wrong about the name. Let's see. Yeah, it's called Jazz Jackrabbit. Jazz Jackrabbit.
Okay. Jazz Jacker.
Exactly.
I've heard of that. Yeah, that I know.
And a few years ago, for Halloween, you could get a free copy of that if you install GOG Galaxy via the Epic Store, which I did.
Well, GOG Galaxy. Yeah, that's what I've got. That's what I have on here. GOG Galaxy.
But you also got Epic. I remember that because you told me how horrible the client from Epic for the Mac is.
Yes, it is. It's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, Steam ain't no spring chicken either, but at least Steam is just kind of a web browser.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the same on Mac as it is on PC, but every time you open it, there's updates and.
Right. Yeah, it's updating a lot. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Well, other news.
Yeah.
The Amiga Future magazine's actually looking for journalists to join them.
Yeah.
So they made a little advertisement like, would you like to start to work for a print magazine for the Amiga that has been around for over 25 years? Then just simply contact us by email.
Now, the one question I have about this, and I could not see it mentioned anywhere because I actually looked at this. Is it a paid job?
No,
or is it like,
no,
I didn't think so. Because they present it like it is, like, you want to work for a print magazine? Like, yes, I do. Do you want to do it for free? No, I don't.
No, it's not. It's not paid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it doesn't say anywhere. They're not very specific about that. So if you want to, if you want to do kind of like a Scene World where, like.
Right.
And it is cool. I wouldn't mind working. I'd love to work for a print magazine. I loved working for Lodestar when I did stuff for them. There's contracts over there, which probably can't see because the video is probably right here. But yeah, there's contracts on the wall back there from Lodestar.
Nice. Well, I can see them, but probably in the video version will be cut out.
Yeah, I think you're going to be cut out too because you're not quite centered. But.
Really?
It is beautiful video though. I love that camera.
You made me buy that.
I know. And it was worth it. You look fantastic.
Thank you. Wonderful. If I ever turn gay, I will let you know.
Anytime. I'd turn gay for you.
I'm Harry Potter with the older plotter. Holy shit.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Anyway, other news.
Yes.
Bitmap Bureau will be releasing a collection of the 3 recent games.
Yes.
For the PS4, 5, Switch. Soon from Numbskull Games.
Cool.
Yeah. And I'm also the last person who got a Neo Geo release of Xenocrisis, as we had them for an interview a while ago. They are currently working on Xenocrisis 2, so the older Xenocrisis release is on a sale out, actually.
Okay.
So, might be one of your last chances to get a physical release. And of course, so what will it contain? It will be containing beat 'em up, hack and slash, and shoot 'em up. So that would be Xenocrisis, Battle Axe, and Final Vendetta, the 3 games from Bitmap Bureau, which is interesting because they didn't only do Xenocrisis, but also, as I said, Final Vendetta and Battle Axe. But everybody is quoting Bitmap Bureau just for their Xenocrisis release.
Yeah,
it's a super awesome game though. Well, since I've got no PlayStation 4, no PlayStation 5, I will get the Switch release.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I got a question about an older game that we had on the podcast.
Sure.
Do you still play Aquanox Thief's Descent?
Didn't start it in two years, but
okay,
theoretically, I still have it on my Steam account. Yes.
Is it still going on? Is it still a thing?
Sure, you can still buy it. You can still play it.
Is it still, because it was in like active development and it just kind of like hung out there? Like, was it ever released?
Yeah. Sure, it was released. Let's see when it was released. I mean, I got my physical Steelbox.
Oh, cool. They were one of our very, very early podcasts. If you want to go back and see that, that's way back in the day.
Digital Attic was the developer.
Yeah. Now a moment of silence while we look. So it was podcast number 12.
Yeah.
Which was a long, long time ago.
True.
That was back in September of 2015.
15 even. 15.
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah, it was
almost
released
10 years ago. It was like 9 years ago. Good Lord.
It was released on 16th October 2020.
Okay. All right, cool. That was one of those things I remember talking to them, and it was going to be like a long-term development project. And
yeah,
then
it took 5 years too.
Yeah, right. But it kind of, after 5 years passed, like I wasn't that invested in the game. I know you were really into it. But for me, it just kind of fell off my radar for a bit. And then every so often I'll see something and I'll be like, oh, that game, that thing we talked about. Wonder if anything happened with that. And it's like, yeah, five years later, and then 4 years ago now.
They released it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we'll put a link to where people can find that.
I'm pretty sure we mentioned it back then, but
I'm sure we probably did too. But we like to support our previous guests.
Yes, and speaking about updates, there is a new update release for No Man's Sky called Omega.
This I'm excited about.
And it's available for free, even if you don't own the No Man's Sky game, right?
Yeah, this I'm excited about. They're talking for this year in general. I'm excited about with No Man's Sky because they have said that this and for anyone listening or watching, No Man's Sky is one of the very few games I actually play on a regular basis. Like I'm terrible with playing games and getting into and being able to get into games and whatnot, but No Man's Sky is the one that I've actually been able to get invested in. And they said that 2024 is going to be massive as far as updates go. One of the biggest years for No Man's Sky. I know they're going to overhaul the space stations. They're going to add some. I think they've already added a new ship type, because the Omega update. There is a mission that I know that's been added to it, and I think when you finish the mission, you get like a special ship. But
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty bitchin'.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. And I know that there is an internal there actually I read that the Steam version was actually released accidentally, because they unrolled this update, this patch for PlayStation, I believe. But I don't think it was supposed to come out for anything else yet, because there was no fanfare or anything. It was just kind of like, here it is. And I think the one press release did say specifically PlayStation. Then it also came out for PC. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the big one that comes out, which is apparently an internal version that's running right now. Oh, also the other thing is, I think with this patch.
Well, it's supposed to be coming out this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow or something.
Yeah, I think also with this patch, you're able to now, do you play it at all?
Porn?
Do you play it all?
A bit, but not so much.
Okay. The pirate frigates that attack the other ships, the apparently you can now board them and take those ships as well. Whereas you couldn't before. You could just blow them up. So, looking cool.
Oh yes, and perhaps I should mention it because I didn't.
Sure.
The Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3 remastered has been released.
Oh, really? Again?
Yeah. Actually, yesterday.
Okay.
No. The day before yesterday. So.
Okay.
That would be the 14th of February.
Mm-hmm.
And it was released by a Zyper, which is interesting because I've never heard about a Zyper before.
How's that? How's that spelled? What is that?
ASPYR.
Aspire. That was, you know what Aspire was? They used to do a lot of Mac conversions of PC games.
Okay, so you know them better than I do.
That was a like one of the big game producers for the Mac back in the day. The game would start and it would go across and you hear Aspire.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a big Mac game thing. Wow, that's cool. I thought they were gone. That's nice that they're still around. That gives me some hope in the world.
They're around since 25 years, at least.
Yeah.
This is all they say on their homepage.
Yeah.
And they just released Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3 remastered. Which is interesting because hitting the F1 key, you can switch between the old original software rendered graphics and the remastered graphics in any moment of the game's running. So even in the menu, even in the video sequences, you can on the fly switch between old graphics, software rendered, and new graphics.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And they also did make a new control scheme. So you can play it with the old tank controls or the modern ones. If you're not into steering your Lara Croft like a tank. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And also they added a trigger warning to the games, that the games are old and back then they were not not very correct with stereotypes on certain cultures and stuff, you know.
It did.
Because
it did
it's
upset me
games
quite
from
a
the
bit.
90s.
It did upset me quite a bit when I had to shoot the tiger or the dog. You never shoot the dog.
But that's not about that. It's more about, being about Peruvians and stereotypes and all that stuff. Incas, whatever.
You never shoot the dog.
Well, except if the dog is sick.
Well, no, you just take him to the doctor.
Not if the dog has I don't know what the name of the illness is.
Rabies.
Madness?
Rabies. Yeah, that's Cujo.
Never heard of that.
What? Cujo or rabies?
I don't know either. What?
Cujo is a book by Stephen King.
No, never.
Which is Saint Bernard gets rabies. Rabies is a disease which there's no cure from, and it makes them go kind of nuts. They drool and they can't drink, and
that's what I meant.
Yeah. Rabies. Yeah, that's about the only time when putting them down is a good thing. But you never saw Cujo? Wow, that's a classic.
I'm not into horror.
Oh, the best, in my opinion. When I was younger, I used to read a lot of Stephen King. And I've kind of fallen off the Stephen King train as I've gotten older. But I've always thought that the best books by Stephen King were the ones that didn't have anything weird or like supernatural. Like Cujo was a book about a dog that got rabies. And it's essentially like a woman and her kid stuck in a car while this dog just sits outside and terrorizes them. Nothing supernatural at all. It's a thing that could actually happen in real life. And it's like that was probably the best book that he wrote, I thought. Same thing like Misery. Misery was a great book too, and that was, nothing supernatural about that. It was just a dude that got terrorized by a fan.
Interesting thing is, on Steam forums, there's a thread asking what exactly is racist about Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3. And there's like the general conclusion is like nothing, but they still have to put a disclaimer in front of it because it's a game from the 90s. And Digital Dynamics doesn't want to take any chances, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry,
so
said it wrong. Crystal Dynamics is the
no. So the one thing that I see here that is considered offensive is that in the third in Tomb Raider 3, in the third game, you go to the South Sea and encounter a tribe of locals, and they apparently are practicing cannibals, despite it being the 90s, and you just run around the village shooting them. So that, I guess, could be a little bit offensive to people that actually live in that area and are not cannibals or never were cannibals. And they have lines like, "Is well for you, me fasting this day. You make plenty good flesh pot."
Where did you get that quote from?
I am looking at an article on The Escapist about why Tomb Raider has a racism and stereotypes warning.
I see.
So we'll throw a link to that in the podcast description, so you.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess there are, and I see this looks like mummies here, maybe in this picture, but I don't know. You know, it's. So it isn't. They say in the article it's not wall-to-wall racism, but there's at least one problematic sequence.
Interesting. Anyway, that would be all my news.
Yep, that's all. I don't have.
Well, I cannot really comment much on this Tomb Raider thing because I never really played this third one.
Neither did I.
Only the first.
I never even really played the first one. I played the demo of the first one that came on a
demo.
That came on a CD with a Mac Addict magazine or something. Way back in the day. But yeah. So if that's all we got, then we should probably take a ride over and
we
talk
should.
to Eleonora.
Right. Talk to them. Yeah.
There we go. Chapow.
Today we have another guest. Today we are talking to Eleonora Sayaka from the quite recently opened YouTube channel Sayaka's Digital Attic on YouTube.
Hi everyone, good evening. I'm happy to be here on the podcast. So I have a YouTube channel about electronics and retro computers. Actually, I have two channels, one in English and one in Italian. And YouTube is something that I'm currently focused on because it allows me to express my passion about electronics, computer science, software, because I'm also studying computer engineering, and that's a path definitely more orientated towards software. But I think that what I study at the university and what I do on YouTube are connected because electronics is the core of computer science. So, when I'm learning something about the university, it also improves my knowledge on the YouTube part and vice versa.
Yeah, so actually basically almost answered my first question that I usually ask, and that is like, how did you got connected to computers? Perhaps you can start from the early on. What was your first touching point?
Well, my parents have always been collectors of retro computers and consoles, so I've always been aware of this world since I was a kid. But I later delved into it through YouTube, following other YouTubers in the field, like the 8-Bit Guy or Jambetta. And eventually, I thought it would be a great idea to share my passion by posting videos online because it seems like a fantastic way to express myself and connect with other fellow enthusiasts, but also for receiving advices
No worries, no worries.
and learning more about it. So, out of curiosity, I started exploring how to publish videos on YouTube and how to edit them. And from there, I began uploading my own content. And I think that it's been a year now since I posted my first video, but the video about the oscilloscope received a lot of positive response, and that made me very happy, even though it was entirely unexpected.
No problem. Okay. No problem. Actually, I'm the one with the cost today, so
yeah, it's very cold.
Never mind. I mean, I can fix that in post production. Anyway, interesting thing here. You mentioned you have two channels, one in Italian and one in English. So
yeah.
you're actually making the same content twice?
Yeah, I'm making the same content twice. So I'm recording the one in Italian first, and then I record it in English. But I'm also thinking about making it in Japanese because I really like Japanese culture too, like my parents. I really like anime or reading mangas and everything about Japan. So even the Japanese, like all the meals, the meal Japanese. I like everything about Japan. So I started studying Japanese too, and I'm thinking about opening a channel in Japanese also. So maybe I will the same content for the third time. I don't know.
Another question is it really worth it? I mean, seeing your target audience is people interested in IT and retro and computers and tech stuff. Don't they speak already English? I mean, at least the Italians I deal with obviously speak fluent English. I mean, at least in my 22 years that I'm doing this project here with the Scene World, I never actually had an issue of, perhaps once, but mostly English works just fine, at least from my experience.
Yeah, that's true. But I started doing videos in my Italian channel, and then I thought about making it in English. So the English channel, I started it in a second time, but then I continued in the English channel and the Italian channel separately. But I think that that's more like a challenge for myself because I like doing videos, I like editing and showing my passion to everybody. But I like studying languages also, so I think that I like doing both. It's just because I like it. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, but I mean, I totally get it. I mean, people are always complaining that I even insist that when I interview German people, we have to speak English because I'm saying, like, I'm not going through the hassle of translating it. So anyway, that's just my point of view. But interesting to hear that you decided to make English content as well, because there are not many Italian YouTubers I know that would do English tech videos.
Yeah, I don't know any Italian YouTuber that talks about tech in general. I also know American YouTubers that talk about tech and retro computers. And I know a German YouTuber, so Giambetta, but yeah, I don't follow any Italian YouTuber about retro computers or tech in general.
Really?
Yeah, I actually started watching retro computer videos of the 8-Bit Guy or even odd tinkering, but it's not about retro computer. It's about restoration or tronic fixer. And from there, I started my path in retro computers. Yeah.
I mean, my favorite would be a modern vintage gamer.
Oh yeah, I like it too. Yeah.
And also Scotty Allen with Strange Parts. Anyway, probably you saw it when you looked at the past interviewees we had. Those were two of those that we spoke to so far. So anyway, it's quite interesting. I mean, I think it's important to share knowledge, but in your case, it's a bit different because I mean, we have to speak about the obvious. When I started this scene world thing here like 22 years ago, people always told me I'm too young for the Commodore 64 because I got mine in 1990 when I was 8. So actually, I was already with me turning 42 next year. I actually was too young, and people were like, how can you know even about retro computing? You are too young. I mean, you are even younger than me.
Yeah.
So isn't that people tell you you're actually too young in retro perspective to know about the old tech?
No, they never had the opinion of me. At least I think, but I never received comment like that. I always received positive comments about my passion, and YouTube is not something that I use to teach, but it just allows me to express my passion. So I think that people appreciate that, and they see that I'm not teaching anything. I just want to share what I do and my restoration, my work. And I think that they just appreciate that, and they know that I'm searching connection with other people with my same passion, and I'm always open to receiving comments, advices, and it's a way of learning more about this field and to speak with other people with my same passion, because I don't know besides on in the internet, I don't know anyone with my same passion. So yeah, I think that that's why I started doing YouTube content too.
You don't know anybody with your passion?
No.
I mean, there are plenty of retro people out there. I mean,
yeah,
especially
but
in Italy also.
Besides my parents, and maybe some friends of my parents, I don't know anyone, and anyone of my age. So
of your age, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, even when I look at my cycle of friends, most of my friends are 10 years older than me, or even 20 years, because as I said, compared to other people that are holding up the retro torch, I'm considered too young. But it's interesting that you never received such comments like I did. But I'm always saying in past interviews with other people that the Generation Z, which I believe you belong to, will be finally the one that has to learn about how old computer stuff and tech worked, because people like me and 20 years older than me, they will be dead at some point, unfortunately.
Well, no, I don't think that that's the reason. It's always about preserving what happened before, and electronics is the core of computer science and everything and everything that exists now. So I think that that's important to preserve because it's the foundation of what we have today. So
yeah, but if nobody of the finding of the inventor generation is left, or the people that were brought up with old tech, then it will be you and your
well, I hope
kind
so.
that have to pick up, and hopefully continue preserving.
Yeah, I'm happy because my friends are watching my videos, and now when I talk about Commodore or other console, they know what I'm talking about because they're watching my videos. So
Okay.
I can talk about retro computers with them too, and that's really fun.
It's interesting. So it's actually because of how you have been grown up focusing on old machines that were basically invented before you were even born.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's also amazing to see that you are not afraid of modifying rare machines like the Commodore Max machine, and you even make a disclaimer like, don't take my work as an example of how it's done. I'm just learning myself.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
yeah, and people already complained that I got my European NAS modified with stereo dials, a stereo modification, and there are certain people in the retro community that are saying like, no, you have to preserve it in its original shape. You can't make modifications to it because then it's no longer original.
Well, no, I think about in that way too. But my friend asked me to do that modification, and I was worried because of the cost of the Commodore, and because it wasn't mine. So I
It
said,
was actually
don't do that.
it wasn't your Max machine actually.
No, it was my friend's Commodore Max.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he asked me to do that, and I modified it because he asked me to do that. But I put that warning because of the cost of the Commodore Max, and if somebody is watching my video and maybe I don't know, the Commodore stopped working for some reason, I don't want to be my fault. So.
Wow. Yeah, if somebody breaks theirs because they followed your video, yeah,
Yeah.
could happen. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, this modification, is it really necessary? Because I saw on Amazon you can actually get an analog antenna signal converter to composite. So
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you don't really need the modification on that machine, to be honest,
Yeah. I don't like to modify it, especially because it was really expensive and
rare.
it wasn't very easy to find. But I was lucky because I have the A version and I didn't have to cut any traces or remove a capacitor.
Right.
So, the main board was still the same. So I liked that very much, that modification, because it remained the main board like it was.
That's actually true. It's actually true. Yeah, it's actually true. The PCB hasn't to be altered. That's true. Yeah. But still, I mean, okay, you could probably undo the modification, because I saw you used the unused connector of the audio plug for the video signal. If I didn't misunderstand it.
Yeah.
Because the advantage of composite video is actually that everything is in one signal, which is actually why the picture quality is so awful.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you do a real modification, shouldn't it be chroma luma separated? But I don't know if that is even possible with the Max machine. Probably not.
Well, I'm actually not sure. Of course, I didn't invented the modification, but I followed a modification that I found online. That actually Giambetta did that too. I saw that Giambetta did that too a year before my video. But yeah, I'm not sure if that's possible.
It's actually a good question.
I should read.
I should ask Yash Terakura the next time I talk to him. I should ask him about that, if he remembers after all those years. That's actually a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, in the worst case, you could have asked around for somebody to repair it. But I guess there's not much you can do wrong by soldering one wire to a pin, right?
Yeah, I hope not.
Interesting. Yeah. So I wonder, what are your future plans with so far? Continuing your studies and then raising the channel to more fame?
Well, I'm actually not sure because, I'm at the beginning of the channel. So I'm currently, posting videos, but it's the foundation of my channel. I'm for sure I will continue this path, so posting about retro computers and retro computers with electronics. I'm also thinking about making videos about the history of a certain computer, like the 8-bit guy did with the Commodore history. And but yeah, I think that I will continue in this direction. I will continue my studies, but in long terms, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Well, I think maybe I will open another channel in Japanese and start doing the same videos in Japanese. Well, I thought about making that, but yeah, in long terms, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do.
I don't know. I think in my perfect world, I always hope that everybody learns English, so we don't have a language barrier. That was always my hope.
Yeah.
But then you don't need this translation in zillion languages. But
Yeah, no, I think that everybody understand English. It's just my thing, to like I have an Italian channel and an English channel. Why don't have one in Spanish, French, and Japanese? I don't know. I just like the idea of making videos in different languages.
Well, I mean, I can tell you the algorithm for YouTube actually worked because your channel was suggested in my YouTube feed. So this is how I got to know about you. Because YouTube was like, you might like this video if you like that video. So
Well,
this is actually how I heard about you.
A lot of my friends and the people that I know opened YouTube one day and YouTube suggested them my videos. So
Exactly.
that's why they know about me making YouTube videos, because I didn't, I didn't send my friends that I was making videos about retro computers because I didn't thought that they would like my videos or the topic. But I discovered that a lot of my friends kind of had an interest in retro computers, but they didn't say anything because they thought the same thing.
What I always hear about Generation Z is the lack of an attention span. So, like, or what I also noticed is when I spoke to younger people, playing games on a PC and stuff, that many of them were not interested in the history of how things were done. I mean, watching a 3 hours video um, uh, of um, of somebody explaining how he invented the first cheap microprocessor is not interesting for everybody.
Well, I think that depends on the interests that they have. I primarily know people from engineer, so computer engineering, electronic engineer, or people who are interested in science in general. So I think that if they have a good teacher, so a person that is playing something in an interesting way, they will learn about that and they will listen that person with interest no matter what the topic is.
So do you actually plan to live from your YouTube success at some point, being a big tech YouTuber? Is that one of your dreams?
Well, I never thought about that because, as I said before, YouTube is just a way to, meet other people with my same passion, talk with the people who have my same passion, and learn more about it. So it wasn't never about being a YouTuber or a successful YouTuber, because my first year of posting videos on YouTube, I had, I think, 200, no, yeah, 200 followers. And then with the oscilloscope video, I had 20,000, but that wasn't expected. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, I think that I will continue no matter how many followers I have or subscribers I have. It's just about connecting with other people. And as long as I will have this passion, I think I will continue doing that. No matter how many subscribers I get or I have. Yeah, that's not my final goal.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I also wonder, and I didn't see, perhaps I missed it, I didn't see any English social media channels, at least not connected to your YouTube.
No, I have other social medias. I have Instagram and TikTok, but it's just a new thing. I'm making videos like about how a capacitor work or how an LED works. Yeah, it's a new thing. I'm making these videos in these days. But I like that because I'm following an Italian girl and she teaches physics, and she's teaching small and simple concepts of physics. And I thought, why don't make it with electronics also?
Interesting. Yeah, I'm asking because it's not linked to YouTube yet, but
it's not linked yet, but I think that I posted my socials on the description of the last video, but I'm not sure.
Perhaps I should check. Perhaps I didn't see that. Probably I missed it. But I saw you started shorts, like as you mentioned. How does an LED work? So
yeah. I did that in the last few days, and since it's a short, I posted that on YouTube, but also on Instagram. Yeah, I have to do 3 times my videos every time. If I decide to open my Japanese channel. So, and my brother is telling me, "Oh, do it in Spanish too," because he's studying Spanish. So, well, I don't think that I will do it in Spanish too because I will have to learn another language. So that's a little bit too much for me. But yeah, posting 2 videos every month, that's a lot for me, even if it doesn't look like it, because I'm always working on my videos and trying to improve myself. And I know that maybe some people watching my YouTube channel are thinking, oh, she's doing 1 video every month and she's not working a lot on that. But I'm working a lot on my videos. And when I start doing a video, I'm like, oh yeah, I will post it by the end of the weekend. But then a month pass, and yeah, I'm always late on everything.
So, how did you get the idea for your videos? I mean, except the Max machine, which obviously was because a friend of yours asked for it. What's the original thought process behind a new video?
Well, I actually from other YouTube's channel, I think, or yeah, maybe I'm like watching my parents' collection of retro computer, and I think, oh, that would be cool. I will do that. Like I have a big 20 case, but there is no mainboard because I think 3 years ago I sent it to a person for repairing the mainboard, because I wasn't really close to electronics yet. I wasn't confident enough to doing my reparation, but it never came back. It came back, but just the case, not the motherboard. So,
what
I was
happened?
thinking, yeah, I was thinking about making my own motherboard from zero. That's maybe an idea of a project, of a video.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's very
the
random.
the VIC-20 Reloaded.
Yeah.
I mean, so far we have C64, and C128's being redone, but VIC-20 is not. That's actually a good idea. But let me ask you, did he actually steal the motherboard from you or something? That really sounds horrible.
Well, I sent it for, repairing the motherboard, but then it never came back and he disappeared from Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm never sending anything to anyone ever again. I'm repairing myself, my thing, my computers. Yeah.
That's so sad. I mean, wow.
I know.
I was lucky yet. Either I can ask a friend that is more or less local, or actually can pass by my city or something. At some point, I sent stuff to professional repair services in UK or or Netherlands. So actually, people who have like a business or a reputation, and so. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that he had a kind of a reputation, but in a small group of Italian retro computers enthusiasts.
Ooh.
But yeah, he just disappeared, Well, it's okay. It wasn't like very, very expensive, but it was kind of, a little bit sad, but I will make my own motherboard. Yeah.
So, are you in touch now? I mean, we spoke about that you don't know many people or at all anybody in Italy local to you that is interested in the retro hobby or is actually active in it. How about outside of Italy? Are you now in touch, or do you feel like being a part of the retro bubble globally on a global scale?
Well, on a global scale, I don't know. Like I don't speak like personally with people outside Italy.
Really? So I'm the first one.
Yeah, you're the first
Really?
one.
Oh, come on. Seriously?
Yeah, actually, I did a podcast. I think 2 days ago. It was my first podcast in Italian. Yeah, about retro computers, but it was my first time ever. And then I think a month ago, I discovered that in my own city there is a museum about retro computers. Yeah, and I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, because I think that they don't advertise their museum very much, so I wasn't really aware of the museum. Yeah.
But now that you mention Jan Bita and you mentioned the 8-bit guy earlier, I would think that you are in touch with those YouTubers.
No,
or not yet.
no.
Not
No,
yet.
no,
Just
not yet.
perhaps this changes after this podcast is released.
Well, I hope so. But I saw that Jambeta is following my English channel, and that made me so happy because it was one of my favorite YouTubers with the 8-bit guy and Mrs. Matt Lemon. I don't know if you know her.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm in touch with her. Yeah, I know her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I really enjoy her videos. Usually in my attic, studying engineering or doing electronics. So I'm not very an extrovert person who speak a lot with other people, and maybe that's a problem because I don't speak with other people a lot, even in Italian. So
really,
that should be a problem, maybe. Yeah.
That's very untypical, isn't it? I mean, the stereotype of Italians is like they like to be talking a lot, and
Well, I think that's true, but just for the people from south of Italy. Maybe they're more extrovert, but I'm from the north of Italy.
Ooh.
And here we are, like in Italy, at least, we are famous to be very close persons and extrovert. No, not extroverts, or introvert. And yeah, no, I don't like very much speaking with other persons. I'm more like a person who enjoy staying in her attic. Yeah.
Oh, I have to apologize. I hope I didn't make you inconvenient
No,
talking to me today. I mean, I'm really like, I'm approaching everybody. I don't really think about such things, you know. I'm like, okay, she's a creator. I will contact her.
Sorry. No, I was saying that it's a problem. It's not like a thing that I can't change in the future because, speaking about a future work, I have to learn to speak with other persons without having such a problem, Maybe I enjoy being alone more, but, I have to like learn to connect with other persons. But, since we were speaking about electronics and retro computers, it's not a problem at all because I enjoy what are we speaking about. Yeah.
Your advantage over me is I have very, very bad fine motoric skills, and I'm very left-handed. So I have two left hands, and so I never cared about learning, how this I don't know, printouts work, the circuits of electronics, because I even can't solder. So I don't have the motoric skills, the fine motoric skills to solder and stuff. I tried it a couple of times. I always destroyed things other than repairing it. So I rather be happy with having your little issue of being introvert. Other people would say it's pretty nerdy to keep to yourself,
Well, yeah, a lot of people say, my friends say that. So
you see, yeah, you see,
yeah, but yeah, it's fine. It's not like an issue for me. Like I take that as a compliment. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm the one guy who has no sofa but an arcade machine in his living room. So
yeah, I noticed that. I was watching the arcade the whole time. Yeah.
So I made the mistake of once having a female coworker coming over, and she was like, "Oh man, you are so nerdy. You can't invite any women to your flat. Don't do this anymore because you are too wild."
No.
I'm like, okay, well, that's it.
No, a friend of my father, he's a retro computer collector, and I spoke to him once on Skype with my parents because we know each other since I was little, and I saw like his room, and I discovered that room was like his entirely house. Uh, and he has like the whole wall full of retro computers or floppy disks, and his whole like room is full of old computers or old stuff. And yeah, he was complaining about the fact that he invited a person once, and like she kind of ran away.
You see, that's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but I like my attic, and I would like invite my friends here because it would be fun for me, to make them see my collection and the computers that I have here. And if they run away, that's their problem, not mine. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, issues of the elderly, You are so far away from those issues.
Yeah, I hope so.
Interesting. So let's talk about where can people find your stuff.
Well, I have what? Sorry. Like talking about my work, they can find my YouTube channel or my my Instagram channel. Well, yeah, I have them like in the I have all my social media on the description of my channel, my YouTube channel, and my Italian YouTube channel is Eleonora Sayaka Chialda, and my English channel is Sayaka's Digital Attic. But I have all my social media on the description of my channel. Yeah.
But not in the English one. I'm checking it right now.
Really?
No.
Well, I thought I would like update my account.
The only thing you have is your postal address and your PayPal Me account for donations.
Whoa, that's strange. I thought
but no social links whatsoever.
They updated like the information part of YouTube, so you can see like your other accounts or your other link. Now I'm not sure how it works. Like
it's not shown. I really reloaded.
Oh, that's strange.
I reloaded the page just now.
I should like check that again because I thought I would like put my link of Facebook.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
Oh no!
But anyway,
I did that in my Italian channel.
Yeah,
No.
you see. Yeah, you see. You see. But never mind. It's a typical question anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I like typically I don't like to say on my social media. Even in the other podcast, the other person told, oh yeah, say the name of your Italian channel, YouTube channel, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and I was like, oh no, I don't want like to advertise the channel.
But you should because you are a guest of this podcast. That's the reason I invited you to advertise yourself.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's true. But I wasn't thinking about like in that way, so
that's exactly
I'm always thinking about speaking with other people with my same passion, and like advertising my channel seemed rude to me. I don't know.
I mean, we have the same passion, but I don't have the same skill. That's my issue. So I would be the one sending you my stuff for repair. I would be the one. We would swap places probably.
Don't worry, I won't disappear with
that's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah. But I mean, it's actually a real issue in my country to find somebody 3 years ago who would repair my CRT TV.
Oh yeah.
The person on the phone, she was laughing like from 95. Is that one of those TVs with that big tube at the rear? I'm like, yeah, that's why it's called CRT, cathode ray tube. Oh my God, I'm not sure if we repair those still. Let me ask my boss.
I bet he was thinking like, why you don't just buy another TV?
Exactly. Yeah, well, I mean, apart from the scan lines, light guns are an issue.
Oh, yeah.
Light guns.
So. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. I get it.
That's actually the thing. Actually, I mean, it was in the middle of the pandemic. It was the quickest repair I ever got because they picked it up. In the same evening, they called me like, yeah, we found the problem. We can bring it back to you tomorrow. I'm like, okay, woo. That was the quickest repair. Yeah. And right now, next year, I know that I have a cassette deck. Actually, my first stereo from '92, the cassette deck is broken.
Ooh.
It's making tape salad, and it's actually pretty bad. And also, I got a VCR that sometimes eats the tape. So I got some jobs to be done next year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I know this issue. It's actually one of the most common questions people ask me, like, does your stuff work? I'm like, yeah, I'm not collecting broken items, That's not my thing.
Well, yeah, I like to collect even if they're broken because
really,
maybe
you can fix it yourself.
Try to repair them.
Yeah, exactly. That's your thing. I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, talk to you then, right? Bye.
Okay,
have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Wait.